Hey, what's up guys, it's T-Bone here and welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Game of Heroes. So this upcoming event is called Save the Rainforest, and this is a special event because it's for charity, and the way it works is pretty simple. All you have to do is participate in the event, which is a Earth Slayer event, and Network will actually donate money on our behalf. And the way it works is just like in the previous event where there have been some meters that you have to fill by defeating bosses. It's the same idea here. Defeat bosses, fill the donation meter, and we can fill up to $75,000 worth where Network will donate that full amount to the Rainforest Trust organization. If you wanted to learn more about who they are, the link is below at the end of this newsfeed. In addition to the donations here, the top 10 guilds will also have a $1,000 donation on their behalf to the organization. So this is for a good cause, and all you have to do is play. So I highly encourage everybody to participate, at least try it and help raise money for this charity. Now on to the regular business where we talk about the comparison of the decks. So this is a different view, but don't worry, I do have my other chart as well. I've been playing around a little bit, and since I've been collecting the dates around when events have come out, I decided to sort of filter this to the last loop of the full event. Basically, the way it works is the left side is all of your Slayer events, and on the right side is all the Commander events, and you can see these events in chronological order. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see basically the last time that we had a Earth Slayer event was Loss of Love. And if you click on here, you can see that this was the Valentine deck where you have Voluptus and Venera, Adoring Angel, and Rosamund as the characters. And you can also see that this was a tier 8 deck back then. And they've since changed it, obviously. So now this is a tier S type deck. And we will talk about this deck. I'm going to talk about the cards and how I think it can be played, but also give my views on how I think this compares to some of the other decks that we've seen. So now let's go back into the game itself, and I will be sharing links to all of these charts there, and just to show you that I do have the one that you're used to seeing. It's also available here, so I will have links to both of these in my video in the description below later. In addition to taking a look at the cards, I'm also going to want to spend some time on the bounty dungeon, so I'm going to quickly go over the cards and then give my take on it. So to start, I'm going to say that I'm not sure how I feel about this deck. It's a strong, powerful deck, but I don't like the speed of it, and we'll talk about that. So let's go over the free card at 6 stars. This is Rowan. It's actually, if you look at the picture, it's basically a centaur, so that's kind of cool. I think this is a new art, or maybe it's a little bit changed from the paladin, but anyways, so this card here at 6 stars will do something really cool here, and that is it will increase demigod heroes attack by 25% plus 5% per 20 intensity, rounded down for 2 turns. Notice that there's no cap, so this is a now this is a card that will boost your demigod heroes attacks, and it doesn't boost just Earth heroes, it'll boost all demigod heroes. So this is not a bad card to get that additional bonus damage, and given that there is no cap, you could go beyond 100%, maybe to 200%, depending on how much intensity you can get pretty high boost here. And this also is a demigod intensity, which is a new intensity type. So there is no relic right now that will actually boost it, so this is the first time that it's available. So keep that in mind when you think about this deck as well, because you're going to have to need multiple relics to make this work. It does have a passive that increases the intensity by 5 every turn because it's needed, and you'll see really quickly why. Then we'll talk about the event hero here, and that is the Gaia, Goddess of Nature, and her ability is very much like Domi. So if you take a look here, she'll create 2 Earth Gems, and both now and for the next 2 turns, plus 1 additional Earth Gem per 75 demigod intensity. Now this is at 5 stars. We can see what it is at 6 stars, but at 5 stars, 75 intensity, that is atrocious for a gem spawner, in my opinion. At 6 stars though, you get 2 Earth Gems now and the next 2 turns, plus 1 additional Earth Gem per 50 demigod intensity. Now this is a lot worse than the Domi and Tyra and other sort of 3-turn gem spawners. It's worse than the Circassa as well. So you are not really getting a good value here. Like you really have a high intensity requirement. And so I think in a short 20-second fight, you're just not going to be able to, I don't think you'll be able to get as high intensity as you would like. So I don't think this is, and plus this is an event card, so you can't just evolve this easily. So it's not like you're going to have multiple of these cards running around. So whereas before the event cards, I think the free cards like Domi, I think is really good. They put it into the event card, and I think that actually loses its value. So I wouldn't try to get too many of these cards, but the event card is not bad because it does boost attack. So the deck I think works well is basically try to go for more of the free card here rather than the event card. Then let's talk about the Blade of the Branches, which is a ultra rare card. Now this is very much like the Golden Guardian of the previous light event, where this will generate 2 Earth Gem 3 plus an additional Earth Power Gem 3 for every 125 demigod intensity. At 6 stars, this will drop down to 100. And so this is the ultra rare card, and the ultra rare, which is Morgana, does the same thing, but she does generate 2 Earth Power Gem 4s and an additional one for every 75 intensity. Now, I've talked about this before, and I did get the Golden Guardian. And I will tell you that personally, I don't like the speed of this type of deck. I think that it just takes too long to build up the type of intensity to really sort of, get that effect. But really, you're not. But the other way to look at it, though, is this is really meant to be maybe a turn 4, turn 5 type deck, because you're expected to boost your you're expected to be boosting your cards through the free cards. And so if you do have the ultra rare and ultra rare, I think you want to have at least 3 of the free cards, and then the ultra rare plus the ultra rare. If you just have this card, if you just got the Blade of the Branches, then I would say go with 4 of these cards. Now you are going to run into trouble because Gaia is going to be the one that will dispel Gem Silence. So you might need to have her around, because otherwise you're not going to be able to spawn any of the gems. So I would say if you have just one ultra rare card, try to go with 3 of these cards, 1 of these, and then the ultra rare. Now, personally for me, because I dislike the speed of this, I have 1 Golden Guardian in my deck, and I just felt that wasn't quite good enough. So personally, I think that this is something I would personally pass on. But it is going to be a bunch of Power Gem 3s and Power Gem 4s, so that is something to consider if you think that's something that you like. Keep that in mind. This is how I would sort of build a deck. Now, let's talk about Bounty Dungeon. So this is not the first Bounty Dungeon there. They did make an update in the past, or they had an announcement in the past where they're updating the dungeons so that, the Fury is going to be more difficult. Now, I personally think that Celestial floors 1 through 4 haven't been too bad. Floor 5 is the one that gave me a little bit of a challenge. And I'm going to talk about the cards that I'm bringing in, and then we'll talk about how this could maybe work for you. Now, unfortunately, if you really are looking to, maximize number of trophies, you're simply going to have to bring in bounty hunters that have, are at 5 or 6 stars. Otherwise, if you're just bringing regular event card, you shouldn't have any problems. And we'll talk about how this works. So for me, I'm bringing mostly fire deck. And I'm using Gladia as the main damage dealer. And so a couple of things I noticed with this particular bounty hunt. Let's take a look here. The first one is they've actually decreased the defense of your bosses. So whereas before, no matter how much damage I try to deal, it wouldn't actually hit them. I find that now I can actually deal pretty good damage on turn 1 when I match all of my gems. And I'll show you how this looks. And so in the case where I don't actually manage to defeat the boss, then we'll talk about some of the strategies for what you can do to... Oh shoot, I did this wrong. I should have matched the 3 there. I wasted it. So I'm not going to deal nearly enough damage to take it out. And so now what we're going to do is, take a look and, activate all of these powers just to try and, get some damage in. And I'm going to, because I'm using Gladia, what I want to do is I want to wait at least 1 more turn. So it's kind of hard to see here, but there is now 1 more turn remaining for the boss. I'm going to go ahead and use it, and I'm not going to kill it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to die now, and I'm going to have to watch a video. I'm not going to let you go through that. So I will be back in a second. All right, and now one thing that I want to call out to is that the boss here actually casts poison. And if you notice, I actually was able to dispel poison with one of my ascended heroes. So ascended bosses will dispel poison, and I have 3 of them. So luckily I was able to dispel it. If you can't dispel it, it's going to spell big trouble because it will kill you one shot. But anyway, so now I have about 4 more turns to make sure that I, get enough fire gems, and also I need to power up Gladia. Okay, so I think just 5 gems is enough, and I'm just gonna wait a little bit, right? So I have 4 turns, so I'm gonna take my time. And the way you want to play this is if you bring in a nuke. Let's say Flame Heart or Flame Foot, this is basically the strategy to employ. So I actually have 2 turns. So I'm just going to wait 1 more turn here, and I'm going to go ahead and use my skill because I will be able to deal enough damage. So, just use up Kata's skill and then go ahead and use Gladia, and there you go. We're able to take out the boss within 6 turns, and so you'll be able to get 3 stars here, but really it's the treasure, it's the bounty, the trophies here. So over 3 million if you bring in all 6-star bounty hunters except for 1, and so this way you can actually move towards collecting the 500 gems, which is really my goal, and I think I'll be able to get enough for the crown as well. Now the other thing that I've noticed is because the collection contains a bounty hunter here. So if you take a look here, if you have Wukong, this is also a bounty hunter, and you're supposed to be able to use this in the bounty hunter event with the additional bonus. You can get up to 10 times, but I've seen reports that it's actually not working very well. So take a look. I just didn't want to waste too many keys to try this out, but hopefully this helps you. Again, some of the ideas, we'll just kind of look at the team again. I'm running mostly a fire bounty hunter deck, but really I'm not using them at all for anything. I'm simply relying on Gladia to do the damage for me. So if you can bring in Gladia as an ally, if you don't have her, I would just borrow her as an ally, put in all bounty hunters, make sure you have enough relics to power up your Gladia on first turn, and then just kind of follow the process I did here. And also, if you can, make sure you bring something that will dispel poison. That is going to be one that you'll have to dispel for sure. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to defeat the level. So that's it for me for this episode. Hopefully this has been helpful for you, and we'll see you next time. And I'll probably do a mid-event recap just to see how things go. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for your time, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Take care.